Hello, everyone.
Hello.
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 Good morning and good afternoon. And so we're just letting a few more people in, and so we can start. I just wanted to let you in on time here, but there's a little bit of a technical issue, I think, somewhere in the world. So let's see. Just spend a few minutes letting everyone join here. And wow, what a nice group. When I see the replies to those emails, it's a very nice responses. Excited to touch base with all of you today. Hi, Liana.
Hello.
And Hannah is there.
Hi, everybody. Hola, Lily. Hola.
And Phil, you managed to get the link, right?
I got it. Yes, thank you.
Right. So I'm not completely sure how many people will be joining us today, but we have a select group between 12 and 15. I think there was a few last minute joining us this morning, actually. So just give them a few minutes, I think. And when I looked through the participant list this morning, yesterday maybe, it was like 12, 13 people from 7 countries on 4 continents. So it's usually that kind of setting we are in when we gather people on organizational happiness. So it's on one way, it's sometimes it's difficult to be present and really connect online. But on the other hand, you can create these environments where you meet people every Tuesday, globally, 4 continents, 7 countries, and still make new friends. So we'll try to set that up for you over the next 5 Tuesdays. We have Karina is joining us. And David and Ali is coming in. Stephanie. Good morning, David.
Hello. Hola.
So I think Hannah, I think we giving everyone 2 or 3 minutes. With also was a few technical challenges this morning. So, but I think now we are at least most of us in the room. So I think we should or could kick it off now. Would you
Excellent. Yes, I would be more than happy to. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I've been in touch with almost every single one of you at this point. So it's really nice after emails back and forth, seeing the writing on the screen, and then finally being able to put a live face to that communication is really wonderful for me. One of my favorite parts of my job is to being able to finally meet you all. I see some familiar faces as well. Lily, David, Bishop, how y'all doing? Good to have you all. I am jumping in here because for the majority of you, with the exception of those who are familiar faces, this is your first course with the UP Center for Executive Education. So I thought I would take a few minutes of the time in the webinar today to give you a brief introduction to who we are, what we do, and also just a very warm welcome from all of us. So I'm going to quickly share my screen to give you guys a little bit of a presentation here. All right, thumbs up when you can see it. Excellent. Lars was super quick on that. Great. All right. So for those of you who don't know about our logo here in the back behind me, we are part of the University for Peace, a very unique institution established in the 1980s by the United Nations General Assembly. At that time, it was the height of the Cold War. There was a lot of tension and strife and conflict in the world. And really, there was a need for an institution of higher education that was completely and totally dedicated to peace and conflict studies. So the University for Peace was born. We are headquartered here in very peaceful Costa Rica, where we do not have an army, very progressive environmental policies, very stable government. So it's a really wonderful place to be. And every single year we host about 150 master's students from 50 plus different countries. So some of the diversity that Lars was mentioning at the beginning of this is actually happening live here on our campus as well. Fairly small student body, but extremely diverse. We have master's programs in peace and conflict studies. That's our largest department, environment and sustainability and international law. And at the end of the day, we work under the United Nations mission to create a more peaceful, more tolerant world, training leaders for the future to go back to their home contexts and really address some of these major societal issues and problems of today. So poverty, climate change, inequality, human rights violations, etc. Within the University for Peace, we are the UP Center for Executive Education that is bringing you this course. We are an organization that was founded about 15 years ago now, and we have a small team. We're about 5 people, but we were created in order to help people who wanted to be involved with the university and its mission, but maybe they already had a master's degree, or maybe they couldn't afford to come to Costa Rica for an entire year and be here with us, but they still wanted to get some of that flavor, or they wanted to align with the values in some way. So we offer transformational professional development programs like this one. Short term, we have online courses, we have on-site courses if you ever get a chance to come and visit us in Costa Rica. But essentially, we work under the same mission as the United Nations to create a more peaceful world. However, we localize it a little bit. So it's creating a more peaceful world within your context, within, in the case of this course, within your work, within your workplace, within your organization, and within your team. We believe very strongly that every single person in the world has the power to make a positive impact and a positive difference in this world. And it's simply a matter of providing you with the skills, tools, and networks necessary to be able to act on this. We offer a bunch of different programming. Some of you may or may not know about this or have been involved in more than one of our programs. We have open enrollment courses like this one. We also have diploma programs where you can actually take 5 different courses with us and create a longer professional development journey for yourself, where you're acquiring different skills in the social innovation or the global leadership space and putting it together into a larger credential. We have specialized trainings. We oftentimes go into organizations, corporations that have a specific need that they need our help with, and we've developed customized trainings for them. And we slowly but surely are creeping our way back into study abroad programs. We actually have our first live study abroad program coming back at the end of July, which we're really excited about. So we put together these really tailored programs for people who come largely from the United States with an academic head, and they come to learn about Costa Rica, learn about sustainability, learn about different things that Costa Rica has to offer, do a lot of field work. We're not huge fans of just lecturing. You'll definitely be able to tell that within, I think, just the next hour and a half. But we're big fans of learning by doing, and we think that's the most important and valuable way to get learning and knowledge across. Here's some of the open enrollment courses that we offer. Some of you, again, may have seen or taken part in some of these. Very broad in scope, applicable to a broad range of professional sectors. We've got leadership, negotiations, fundraising, happiness, designing your life, entrepreneurship, lots of things that really can apply to your sector and your environment, depending on what you're doing. We try to offer these 2 to 3 times a year, so everything is really flexible and based around your schedule and understanding that you're all busy professionals as well. So we want to make sure that our courses not only fit in with your life, but they're also very applicable to your work and your life context. We've got 2 diploma programs. I mentioned this very briefly. We've got a social innovation one and a global leadership. Both of these can essentially be completed in a very similar way, but the requisite courses are different. Obviously, one has a focus on innovation and entrepreneurship, and the other has a focus on leadership. Some of you, I think, are in these diploma programs with us at this point in time. And what I'll be doing at the end of this course, so after 5 weeks, if you can imagine that far from now, I'll be coming in on your last webinar and talking a little bit more in depth about these programs in case you're interested in moving forward with a second or third course with us. And this is the diploma that you would receive after the end of a 5-course program. So I think, again, some of you are on this journey with us. It says a lot about, obviously, it's a nice credential that you can put on your LinkedIn profile and social media and what have you, but it also says a lot about who you are as a person, that you are someone who cares about the people around you, someone who cares about having positive impact, and someone who also aligns themselves with the United Nations value and mission to create a more peaceful and tolerant world. So this is our team. Many of you, again, know me at this point. We've got our founding director, Mohit Mukherjee, our director, Julia Delafield, who's here on the ground with us in Costa Rica, program specialist, Esmeralda Bolaños, who I'm also sure you've been in touch with. She does a lot of our calendar invites and a lot of our administrative stuff, and Paula Piazza, who happens to be on maternity leave right now, so you probably won't see much of her in the next couple of months. Very, very warm welcome. I think I just wanted to hop in here to give you that little overview. I hope that helped for those of you who this is your first course with us. So thankful that you're all here. I think that you'll find, similar to what Lars said at the beginning, this is going to be a really amazing experience. How often is it that we get 12 people in a room with such different backgrounds from so many different countries to go through a learning experience like this? So we really hope that it's transformative, that it's powerful, and best of luck. I will, again, be jumping in. If there's anything else that you need from us at the UP Center during this journey, please let us know. Lars is going to be your definite point of contact for anything organizational happiness related. But if there's anything else, we'd be more than happy to have that conversation. Please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thanks a lot, Hannah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Hannah at this point? She'll be, I mean, we can pull her in if we want to also over the next, but at least at the 5th session in July, we will have Hannah in again, telling a little bit more about the diploma and the opportunities that you have after finishing this this course. Thanks a lot, Hannah.
You're welcome. I'll stay on just for a little bit in case anybody wants to go ahead and private message me or ask a question in the chat box.
And even though it seems like Hannah and I are in the same room, Hannah is actually in Costa Rica and I'm in Copenhagen. And just on that note, maybe you could type in the chat box where you are, maybe country, maybe city, if that's relevant, just so we can see how diverse this group is. Cape Town, South Africa, there you go, that's one continent. Juba. Yeah, look at that. Mexico, Pennsylvania, Germany, Guatemala, California, South Sudan we had, and Canada also. I mean, look at that. It's such a nice crowd to be with, and even when we look at time difference, so somehow we managed to meet every Tuesday for the next 5 Tuesdays. and talk about organization happiness for so many perspectives. So I also want to upfront here invite you, because usually these 5 weeks they go by fast. So I wanted to invite you to don't be shy. I think at this point, I mean, reach out to me or to anyone in the group also. We will make sure today that we do a short introduction, a slow introduction, connecting people, a little bit of overview, guiding frameworks. What are we going to go through the next 5 weeks? But usually these 5 weeks go fast. So I want to invite you to, if you have an idea, or if you see someone you might think is an interesting person to connect with, or you in the same field, or someone you would like to work with, I would invite you to reach out. So you have an opportunity to co-create already when you are in this group, because very often it turns out that you get a few new friends in this group, because even though we are diverse, I saw one of you responded to the email that I sent out, that I something like the superpowers that we all share. It seems like even though we are from 7 countries, from 4 continents, that some of the superpowers that we share are the same, right? And some of the headlines of what we're doing, it seems to kind of resonates with the same agendas. So this, even that we say it's diverse, it's also a safe space for like-minded people, I would say. Very often it turns out to be that. So thank you for sharing that. Are there any questions or concerns at this point, when we're just jumping in with the group here? So we will be, like I said, we'll be meeting every Tuesday for the next 5 Tuesdays. It's something that I'm very, I take it very seriously. At least these processes are very, it's a happy place for me, because it's every Tuesday prepared to share something I'm very passionate about, something in a field where there's so much happening right now. If you are a consultant, HR professional in an organization, or a leader, there's so much going on right now, and I'm looking forward to share all that, because there's so many opportunities to engage in this field, and even with UPs, as Hannah mentioned. So let me share my screen here with you. Do you see it? Good. Let me just, so as I in the beginning, and also as Hannah said, we're not a big fan of lecturing. There will be a little bit of lecturing, or at least me speaking to some of the key concepts. But what I want also to is that we create an environment where we prepare a little bit for Tuesdays, and then we have a chance to talk and speak and co-create with other members of this team. So so there will be some lecturing, but not a lot, hopefully. At least for this session, I hope that we can, that you will meet in different settings in breakout rooms. We will have 3 or 4 breakout rooms. Let's see how time goes. Time usually flies when you start talking in breakout rooms, but let's see how that goes. I also want to say, when we first developed this course, we had less time than we have for these 5 sessions, because we tried to make it effective, but we found out that if we really want to create an environment where we want to co-create and connect people, we need a little more time, and we need to move a little slower to connect people, so there's something amazing coming out at the other end. So we built another module onto it. And on that note, I just want to say you'll get that also in an email, but the last module that we have, the 5th module, that would be 2 hours. I'll come back to that. But this one will be 90 seconds, 90 minutes, sorry. And the last one will be 2 hours. So this session will be a little bit of introductions, getting to know each other. I'll speak a little bit about what we thought about the approach for this course. Then we will talk about PERMA. Some of you know this framework. Some of you, it's new to some of you. And it was in the readings also for today. So maybe most of you have done a little bit of reading on it, but I want to introduce it as a guiding framework, including the happiness sweet spot. And then we'll talk a little bit about the happiness opportunity. Mohit and I developed this course 2 years ago, and we have delivered in many different versions. This is Mohit on the right side there. Sometimes they call us the twins. I don't know if you've seen that movie. But this is where we are at the University for Peace delivering this course. We also do positive leadership online together, Mohit and I, in Costa Rica. If you have an opportunity to go to that campus, it's a magical place. So I invite you to some of you. I know 2 or 3 of you have already been there. I know that, but it's a magical place. So find an opportunity and go there at some point. I would say some point in your life. I've been coming at the university for the last 9 years, doing different courses and teaching positive leadership, organization happiness, and some other courses. The thing I want to say about I put in the little matchbox here at the bottom left side. That's how I want to make my introduction, because at this course, I want to serve. I want to be the scratchy side of the matchbox. I want to be the place where people can light their matches on it. So even though we have we have developed very detailed lesson plans for this course, we will also, when we have developed detailed lesson plans, that also gives us an opportunity to go with the flow or go where the energy is. So if you have a certain area of interest or a case or something that you're struggling with or working with, please bring it up, because it's an opportunity to make it relevant. So I invite you to chip in and ask questions or share knowledge, so we make it as relevant as possible. I think, Ali, you have a hand up.
Yeah, it's a really quick question. It's about whether these recordings are then put into the like learning center or whatever. I might have missed the announcement, or yeah.
Yeah, no. So good question, thank you. So we are recording this. It will go into the course website, and tomorrow it will be there together with this slide deck that I'm showing you here. The slide deck that will be in the course on the course website might be a little extended. Usually make an extended slide deck, so you get most of the material, or you get the extended version, because I think some of you are also or might want to use it afterwards or use it in a different context. So we just put it out there. There's no real we don't do copyrights on it. So if you're happy to share if you can inspire others, but it will be on there from tomorrow, the recording and the slide decks. Thank you for asking, Ali. Phil?
Yeah, I think you mentioned readings for today. So not only could I not find the link, I couldn't find any readings. Do I have an email for that somewhere? Who would it be from?
Oh, can anyone? Is that a similar question from everyone? Did someone have readings for today, or is it?
I found them. So there was an email from Esmeralda welcoming to the course, and then giving a sign-in to the online class thing. And when you go to the dashboard, I was confused about this. You have to click week 1, and it'll take you through to a screen that then gives you where you can click on the PDFs. So it took me a little while to figure out that I needed to click the week 1 button on the lower right-hand side of my dashboard, that it wasn't immediately like in there. So yeah. Does that help?
So it's good. Thank you, Ali. I didn't know if that was so. I'll make sure that the link. I'll make a follow-up email tomorrow morning. Copenhagen
Yeah, I'm not
time.
sure I have that. I'm not sure I have the email that lists the course page and whatnot on it. It's possible I have a lot of emails, but I don't see it searching. So if
you'll have it tomorrow, Phil.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make sure that I'll make a follow-up email tomorrow morning where I'll put in the link to the course website. So
Thank you
it's
so
not
much.
it's not a catastrophe that you haven't done the reading for today. But it's good to know.
Oh, sorry, I have another logistical question. Sorry, Lars. It's just when you were saying we want to bring things to the course and particular situations to discuss. Do you prefer that we do it during the course or before the session if there's something relevant that we want to talk about?
Great question, Ali. I think both. I would invite an advocate that we can have a conversation between sessions also, and even in the group, or email all if you have something relevant. Usually there's someone sitting on something that they want to share, or an article or a video, or maybe even a case or a good experience. So both between sessions, but also during sessions, I would also invite it. I might cut you off and refer to next session or where it's relevant. But I think please bring it up. I'll show that in a minute. There will be you will have to choose your project during these 5 weeks. Where you apply the learnings that we're going through. So already, but I'll facilitate a little bit already today to say what could a project look like. That project is something where it could be something that is very relevant for your current situation, your organization, or where you are right now, or it could even be I want to share this with a colleague. How do I present it? So whatever is relevant for you, there will be a presentation of a project at the last module, a 2-minute presentation. So it's like, it's not a big exam or anything, but it's just like a grand finale where you share a little bit of the learnings. Some of you I know because I've been in contact with some of you. Some of you have real organizational challenges right now where you want to apply some of this learning. Some of you are more interested, like, I'm curious about this. How can I use it? I'm not really sure, but I know there's something in there I want to know more about. So that question is, the short question for that is both. And you will be invited to do a project over the 5 weeks here. So on the welcome, I wanted to, all these hearts have a certificate like this. And I think it's a really, really cool certificate. It doesn't come more cool than this. I think and I think, and of course I'm passionate about it. So it's something that speaks to my heart, but it's UN, it's happiness, it's something that is very, very relevant for a lot of leaders of organizations right now. So this is what you will be having at the end of the course. I just wanted to share this because you will be a member of a larger tribe, and we try to connect people here across the world or the globe here. Also, if you need to connect within your area, or if you need expertise from other parts of the world, but we'll talk more about that. So I just want to make sure here. 2 raindrops, David says, yes. So I wanted to just invite you. Now, Hannah and I have done enough talking right now, I think. So just to find out who is in the room, I'm I took this from, some of you have put in your bio on the course website. You can write in your bio, your short bio. I invite you, all of you, to do that, because then we can all see it and your data is in there and it's easier to reach out. But some of you already done, Elizabeth, David, and some other have, I just pasted this in. But what I wanted to invite you to in breakout rooms, so I'm going to make probably 4 breakout rooms, is share your name, your organization, position, however you want to present yourself. What is your superpower and how can you use it in this course? This is, I would use this as a conversation starter with your new friends. It's more like an introduction. I'm from Copenhagen. My superpower is love, and how can I use it in this course? So this is a conversation starter for you to connect with the group. Any questions or concerns at this point? Otherwise, I'll try and create. Sorry, it's coming up. Breakout rooms. So there will be 3 persons in each breakout room, and just spend. I'll count out 6 minutes, and I'll jump in and see how it's going for you in the breakout rooms. But let's see after 6 minutes. It's and then talk about where your position, your superpower, how can you use it, and that's it. So, and when I click this one, you will have to accept breakout rooms, right? And then you will be in a breakout room. I'll jump in at some of your rooms and just listen in. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Great. There you go. Hey, Min.
Hello.
Hello. The rest of the group is in breakout rooms right now, but they'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
But what?
Okay.
So nice to meet you and welcome.
Nice to meet you too. I'm terribly sorry. I was at a meeting at my son's school, so it just like ended, and I'm just like driving back home and got connected. So sorry for that.
No. I know that situation, so that's fine. No. So everyone is just in. Let me see if I can put you in. Can I do that? Let me just see if I can assign you to. No. So you will just be in a waiting room. Min.
Okay.
for 5 minutes.
No
So
problem.
you can
Nice
take
to
your
meet
time. I want to share. So what I just said to the rest of the group. So we are 13 or 14 people right now.
Okay.
7 different countries, 4 continents. Yeah. So and this session is a lot about connecting people, a lot about introducing, connecting, introducing some of the key concepts, and showing a little bit of highlights, what's going on the next 4 or 5 weeks, right?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I'll just put it in a waiting room. I hope that's okay. I need to jump into one
Okay,
of the
sure.
rooms, and then
Yep.
I'll call for you again, and then you can introduce yourself maybe to the rest of the group.
Okay, okay, sure. See you
Thank
in a
you.
bit.
Good. Good.
Bye.
Do you say Min or Mine or what? How do you
Mine.
pronounce your name?
Mine.
Mine. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Hey, you're back.
Hello, Lars. We actually we lost a third participant, but I'm not sure who it was.
Maybe let me just I'll just close. I'll admit. There you go. Yeah, I saw there was. I don't know why that happened.
Lars, did you get the bio? I mean, do we have to post it ourselves, or you're going to post it?
Oh, you can send it to Esme if you want to.
Oh, yeah, I thought they got it. Where can we find that?
There is an email where the
No, I have the email, but on the dashboard.
Yeah, there you can click on each of the of your colleagues, and then you can see the bio. Also.
Got it. Yeah.
So the others will be back in 46 seconds, and we lost you somehow.
Yeah. My microphone wasn't working, but now it is, right? You can hear me?
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Okay, cool.
And we also had Mine joining us.
Hello, everyone.
And Mina, tell us where are you joining us from? Except from you sitting in a car, I can see that.
Joining from my car in Istanbul. I'm based in Istanbul, and I'm actually stuck in traffic. Sorry for being late. I was at a meeting at my son's school. What I do is, shall I just like give a little bit background information about
That
what
would
I do?
be just in 2 seconds, Mina, because then
Okay.
we'll have everyone back in the big room.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, everyone is back, and so Mina is joining us from Istanbul, and yeah, maybe just 2 or 3 words on
Okay.
you, Mina, so you have that opportunity after you joined us.
Yes. So I'm from Istanbul, and what I do is I'm giving consultancy to companies to transition them to the new way of working and to redesign their culture to align with that new way of working. That's what I do.
Perfect. And Mina is stuck in traffic in Istanbul. That's why she's in a car, right? So that's I've seen that traffic, so it doesn't surprise me. So I was in 2 of your rooms, and there was a lot of conversation going on there. And I wanted quickly to go into the next conversation. We'll create new breakout rooms, and then you'll be 3 or 4, I think, now in each room. Try to identify 3 unusual things that you have in common and choose one that to share. And I'll give you maybe just 3-4 minutes to see what comes out of that exercise. Any questions? And
Any unusual thing?
yeah.
All right.
Any unusual thing? Yeah, but you have to have them in common, right? You can play with it. So I'll recreate the groups, and there will be 3 or 4 in each group, and I'll give you 4 or 5 minutes. I'll check in with you, but this is also a conversation starter, right? To kind of ask from a place of curiosity who you're with in the room. Is that okay?
All right.
All right. There you go. So, do you see, have you been invited to a breakout room? Liliana, Ali, Claudia? No.
I think I lost internet some seconds, so maybe.
Yeah. Okay, well, now we'll let me see if I can assign Liliana. Yeah, move to.
Yeah.
I'll move you to room 1, and
Okay,
then
now.
Ali, I'll move you to room 3. Maybe you got an invitation now. Did you say? Yeah, there you go. And everyone was using as much time as possible in that group. There was so many conversations going on. Thank you for joining that little experiment there. Is there one from maybe group room number 2? That's Juliana, Julie, Krina. Is one of you going to share what you have in common?
Okay, well, we found 2 different unusual things, but the 2 of us, and then another one, the other 2. So I don't know if it works, but maybe I can say one, and Julie and Krina can say the other one. And
sure.
Common with Julie that we like to eat pizza with fork and knife. I don't like to eat pizza with my fingers. Something weird, but I like eat it like that way.
Sure. Thank you, Juliana.
So.
What's the other one, Julie?
And the other one is that we like to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And that only Krina and I have in common. And Juliana said she didn't have in common.
Thank you for sharing that.
That I have a boy of 3 years old, so he really enjoys on weekend to wake up like Julie and Krina.
Good. Thank you for sharing that. Room number 3 is Ashley, David, Ali. One of you?
Yeah. If they allow me, I will share that we discovered that the 3 of us speak Spanish.
Ah.
It's not that unusual for me. I do.
No.
But for them, they did some studies in Spanish, and so yeah, we actually, the whole conversation was in Spanish. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we figured out that, and also, well, that we are to some extent like into the personality testing and personality type testing and sort of. So those are a couple of things that we discovered. I don't know if Ali wanted to add anything else.
Oh, that we all speak English with a non-English or North American accent. So we all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we were discussing whether we say data or data. So that was right. A big a poll inside our group.
Thank you, David and Ali and Ashley. So group 1, and
So
I think
I'm going to present because I'm in an unusual setting right now. So we decided that I do the presentation. And so we said that it's unusual for 4 different people joining from different continents and being in a breakout room. And about organizational happiness. So we thought it was an unusual thing. And we also discovered that Liliana is a digital nomad, and I am working I'm trying to found an association for digital nomads, and I have been in the remote workspace for the last 9 years. And Anes just told us that he started working remotely as well. So we thought that this was like an unusual thing at the moment for people to work like that. And did I miss anything else?
No, I think that's about it. Being a digital nomad, it's something was unusual, but it's becoming the new normal. And we are loving it.
Good. Thank you for sharing that, Nine and Anis. How do you say? Do you say Anis or do you say Anis?
Yes, Anis with a stress. Yeah, Anis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And the last group is Elizabeth, Claudia, Phil.
Okay, we discovered that we 3 have been professors at the university. We feel we are psychologists, and Elizabeth likes to psychology too. and we like and do sports, different sports, but we are very active in that way. Okay.
So thank you everyone for jumping into that. That's a little bit about, I mean, we spent 10 minutes on this, but connecting a little bit, connecting the dots, and even we could even put 4 people from 4 different continents in the same breakout room. I wasn't aware of that. That's a nice little touch there. So thank you for sharing. There'll be more opportunities, but to speak like this, but maybe on a more professional level or around the learnings that we have. But I think also if you already now see someone that you would like to speak with more, reach out. I think that's my invitation still. Don't be shy. So let me share my screen again here. Do you see it? Yeah, good. So, just maybe in the chat box a little bit, what's your primary goal for taking this course? Also, again, to connect a little bit, but I have read most of your bios. For those of you who haven't done your bios, please do it. I've also looked some of you up at LinkedIn just to get a feeling for who you are and where you're coming from. But I know we are from very many different areas of professionalism also. So maybe in the chat box, what's your primary goal, if you have one? Happiness plan for my organization. Thank you, Krina. Get inspired. Yes. Make workplace a happy place. Want to earn more. Spread the message in South Africa. Great aspiration, Ashley. Thank you. Ideas on how to address burnout and promote well-being. Yeah. Good one, Phil. I like that. That's a huge thing. I think we'll talk a lot about mental health over the next Tuesday, because it's something that is very relevant. Learn more about happiness, Stephanie. Inspire happiness in my organization, Linya. Different ways to have better organization culture. Yes, Claudia. Develop a happy organization and develop leaders. Thank you. And I think that all points to sort of we're going to talk about, and I think that the last one, and Ali said, consolidate a lot of my research and experience into a certificate and meet other amazing people. Yeah, but women to pursue this area. Thank you, Ali. I think also Juliana just said about develop organization and leaders. I think that is what we're going to talk a lot about. Organizations, organizational culture, and leaders and leadership development from many different angles. I think, I mean, a little bit about our approach, because that's to do with what the angles are in this, and what's the objectives of how we're jumping into this. Like I said, there is a lot going on here in this field. From individuals, we talk about the pursuit of happiness. It's almost like I think you need to pursue your own individual happiness, which is it's a big thing on personal development, personal growth, things like that. Nations are spending a lot of energy right now in the last 5 or 10 years, I would say, on happier, healthier citizens in your society, both from a perspective of that we know it's a very good business case for nations to focus on it. We also know that a country or a nation functions better if you focus on the well-being of the citizens that you have. Even, I think 2 or 3 recent states, I think India just set up an advisory board to the government around happiness, how to promote that better in India as a part of a strategy in India, in Dubai, or in the Arabic world there, that part. in Dubai they appointed a happiness minister 2 or 3 years ago, which is not because just because we want to have happier, healthier citizens. That's because it's a very, very good business case for society to focus on that. So that's another area, and we are in the area of organizational happiness. And sometimes I say we spend 90,000 hours in a lifetime at work. This is a US study. And when we spend so much time in our organization or at work, I think there is an obligation and also an opportunity for a leader and for organizations to focus on happier, healthier employees. And you can look at it from a different perspective. For the individual, it's good. It's contributing to your individual well-being. For the organization, it's a very good business case. We'll come back to that. And for the society, it's also very good. So it's a win-win-win. It's almost like we're at a place now where we don't need a lot more science or academics around this. We know that happier, healthier employees perform better. And now we have the data on it also. We'll be sharing that also over the next 5 Tuesdays also. We're sitting on so many cases now. We have our own cases here. Other organizations have done cases on it. There's so much research. So on that, we want to make it very practical here. We want to make it, how can we contribute and not just talk about happiness, because very often, I see it often in organizations that we talk about happiness or well-being, or we talk about we need to have a wellness program. And I think, from my perspective at least, when I work with organizations and leaders, I think we need to do more than just introducing a well-being program or wellness program or focusing on mental health. We need to make it a strategic priority. So it's not just a ping pong table or mindfulness training or yoga or lunch packages or whatever comes, and I'm all for that. But it's actually, we as leaders and organizations, we know that this is important and we make it a strategic priority because we know it's good for the individual, it's good for society, and it's a really, really good business case. I'll come back to that. So the next 5 Tuesdays, today we're talking a little bit about the science of happiness. Some of the readings also were on that. For those of you who haven't done the readings, you can catch up for next time. Many of the readings are chapters in the book that I wrote. I'll come back to that, but eventually you'll get the full book. So next Tuesday, we'll talk about the happiness sweet spot, which is, I'll introduce it briefly before we leave each other today, but a little bit about what is a lens or an objective that you can use when you look at your organization. How can you use the happiness sweet spot as a platform to get from strategy to action, you could say, or from talking about it to actually changing a behavior in the organization. And I think I spent most of my time thinking about how can I unlock potential? How can I unlock potential with individuals, with teams, with organizations? And the happiness sweet spot is a very effective way of doing that, unlocking potential and contributing to both the culture of the organization, but also the success of what we are delivering as an organization. Then on June 21st, that Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays from now, we'll look at the business case, and I'll be sharing some of the cases we have done, including data on it and how the return on investment was on cases like that. For some individuals or professionals in this field, the business case is a really different concept to understand, because very often we just want to feel happy, we just want to create a happy feeling, we want to create good energy, but my experience is if we don't talk about the business case, we're not able to, or at least what I'm working with, then we're not able to step into the boardroom and tell about what it is we're doing and why we are doing it. And we need to have the data and the business case in place. Otherwise, it would just be nice to have. If you create a really nice business case or good business case, it's almost like a strategic project that we need to deliver on, and then it's a whole different momentum on it. I'll get back to that. And then we'll talk about measurements. How can you measure happiness in organizations with teams, leaders, and organizations? And then on 5th of July, we're putting it all together. This is where we'll spend 2 hours. Usually it takes a little bit of time because each of you will have an opportunity to present your project. I'll come back to that in 2 minutes, what that could be, but don't be scared about that. But it's an opportunity to present something, a learning, and apply it to something that is relevant for you. And we give you 2 minutes to do that. So everyone will be watching, and it will be like a celebration and a graduation thing, but also very much a knowledge sharing opportunity at the end of this course. Mohit will be joining us at 2 of these sessions, at least at the last one, just to watch in on what you're all doing, and I'm inviting him to also to join us in one of the others to speak about a relevant subject. So that's the plan. Any questions at this point? Good. So this is how, at least from my computer, you can see that some of this is hidden from students, but tomorrow it will be open for students, so it will be visible for students. But I need to put the slide in and the recording. Esma will do that. But this is the course website. You can always log into that, find the materials, and this is also depending on why you're here and what you're going to use it for. This is also where you can find resources for your project or for your organization or for what it is you're going to do. So this course website will be open for some time after our course here also. So just to introduce the project, and I'll talk more about that the next time also. So this will be an ongoing conversation, and some people, this is a little, at this point, some people say this is a little scary, or I didn't expect that, but this is finding something that is relevant for you to apply the learning that you have. And this slide is, depending on what kind of role you have, you can think of different final projects. We'll come back to that. And if you're thinking about something or you need to touch base on it, please reach out to me. I'm happy to take that conversation with you. Sometimes this is for an organization. Sometimes this is a blank game plan, but I sometimes just show you this. This is a game plan for organization where after the course, a leader or HR professional have filled this in and said, this is how we're going to approach organization happiness in my organization. This is just an example. So a little bit on the historical trends. And I said we don't need any more academics, or we don't need any more cases to prove that this is a good idea. Already in 2011, there was a Harvard Business Review cover issue around the value of happiness, or the happiness dividend. But very little, I would say, until 3-4 years ago, very few organizations actually put real action behind it. And this is what Mohit and I started to push, I think 4 years ago, to say, what can you actually do about it? What is something you can really do about it? Introducing the happiness sweet spot, diving into each of the 3 pillars. So I think one of the reasons why the book that I wrote became a #1 international bestseller in almost 20 geographies, I think, was because there was a need for how-to. There was not a need for another Harvard Business Review cover issue on why. There was a need for how do we do this in reality? What can we do? What are the handles that we can use? And this is what we'll be offering both in the book, but also in the course here. One of the guiding frameworks I want to introduce you to here is, and very soon we'll be going into a breakout room again, the PERMA model. I think many of you have heard about this. It's a framework developed by Dr. Martin Seligman almost a decade ago. We consider him to be the father of the modern positive psychology. But a very simple framework, and he talks about flourishing. He talks about what are the circumstances when I, as an individual, flourish. And some of you have read about this, but just briefly, it's about positive emotions. How can you create positive or more? How can you focus on positive emotions in your life? It's very much, when you dive into this, it's very much about gratitude. That's a headline on this. How can you remind yourself to be grateful? And you can have all kinds of tools and techniques for that. One of them is to do a gratitude exercise every morning, or what do I looking forward to today, or at the end of the day, what is 3 good things that happens today. We talk about wiring the brain for being grateful. And when we also talk about it, so the science is, if you're feeling grateful, you cannot have a negative thought. There's no room for negative thoughts if you're feeling grateful. So it's kind of trying to wiring up the brain in terms of, this is just an example of being grateful for what you have in your life. Engagement is about, I would say, headlines is, how can you use your strength or your superpowers in the situations that you're going through in your life or in your professional life, applying your strengths and your superpowers in your life. Positive relationship is a little kind of tells its own story there, but how can you focus on being with people that where you feel you have a positive relationship? I mean, if you're interested in this, look it up, read the chapter in the book that is also on the course website. But this is, if you start to look into the PERMA model, it's like a Pandora's box that opens up. It's so much research on happiness and things. So it's just Google it or read my book or read some other articles. Meaning is finding meaning in your life. And very often I say applying your strengths to something that is meaningful, something that is more than yourself, and how do you serve for your family or the people around you or society. And the last one is achievement. How the feeling of achieving something, or the achieving of results, the achieving of delivering something. And you can dive into this, but having the feeling of what I'm doing is actually making a difference from someone, or delivering on results. And it's almost, I would say, this is almost a life hack. I've spent many years on this, but it's almost like if you're feeling a little unbalanced, or there's something missing in your life, or or something that you feel a little, there's something going on, you could look into the PERMA model and say, how am I doing in these 5 areas? How I'm doing in these 5 pillars of flourishing? Is there something I need to focus a little more about? So I'll be talking. So I wanted to put you into breakout rooms. And the question is, what is one area you would like to focus more on for you or for your organization? One of the areas, the PERMA, P-E-R-M-A. And maybe if this was the first time that I introduced this for you, maybe you only remember 2 or 3, but then you'll catch up on the reading. But have a conversation. What is an area you would like to focus more on in your life or maybe in your organization? And you come back, we share a little bit, and then we jump into the happiness sweet spot after that. Any questions or concerns, clarification at this point? Great. Then I'll put you into breakout rooms again. And I'll give you 4 or 5 minutes. I'll check in on a few on your groups, but I think I'll give you 4 minutes and see how it goes. There you go. I think you will all be invited now. So you just need to accept. Breakout. Yeah. Okay. So, Stephanie, Anis. I'll put you in room 2, Anis, and see how that works. And Ali, I'll put you in room 3 and see if that works for you. Yeah. Hey, Anis, you came back?
Hi. I don't know how I came back. I was going to room 3 and I've just been drawn back. So if you could send me back, that'll be very nice.
I'll send you to, I'll try again.
I was stuck somewhere in between. Let me join again. Thank you.
You got it, yeah. Good.
Hey,
Hey, David.
hey, check out this guy I found over here. Look at that.
Ah, nice,
Ah, look
nice
at that.
dress. Yeah.
Looks dashing. It's very
I was giving Ashley a quick read on this amazing material I found over here. So let's check it out on the author, and then he looks familiar, you know. Sorry, Ash, I got kicked out of the breakout room.
You left me hanging for a moment. I was very upset.
No happy moment with that. Yeah.
So, David, can you show the book again? I just wanted to use it as a reference.
This part?
No, not that part. So I'll make sure that you get the book. For some of you, it will be a PDF version. If I ever meet you, you will have the print version or the copy version that David is sitting with. But David and I met recently in Costa Rica. So,
but I have to tell you that I couldn't bring my team to this course because of the cost, but I did give them, all of them, your book.
Oh, really?
Oh,
No,
yeah. So it was like distributed in my team, so they have to read. Yes.
Thank you, Lillian.
Yeah.
So I'll get back to that next time, maybe, to talk a little bit more about that. But I'm happy to share whatever I have. I'm sitting on so much material, so it's very much about making it relevant for you. So of course I'll share everything I have during the Tuesdays here, but when we dive into each of the areas, we have practical cases, exercises, things like that. So if you need anything, just reach out. On this, I'm not going to share back to the larger room, but just be mindful of time. So I'll try to keep it to the half hour, because I know many of you have the next meeting just after this. What I wanted to share at this point is this one. Just a little bit about, when we talk about the happiness dividend, the impact of happiness at work. These are some of of course, when you read the book or some of the data that are in the book, I'll share that next time also a little more in detail. But there are so much research, academic cases, studies around happiness at work that shows a lot about something that is about unlocking potential that I talked about, but also reducing disengagement like burnout, sick leaves, turnover. And I think when we look at organizations right now, when I make business cases for organizations, it's very often based on higher retention and less turnover. I think David, can you mute yourself?
Sorry.
So this is just a high-level picture of some of the happiness advantage or how to build the business case. We get more into details on this, and there'll be more slides in the slide deck that I'll be sharing tomorrow with all of you. Next time, we will talk about the happiness sweet spot, and you can see it on the upper right corner there, purpose, strength, and compassion. And the reading for next time will also be related to those three areas. What the work we have done, and I've not been alone in this, I also done the work with Mohit that I mentioned. What we have done is to map a lot of the science of happiness into a lens that we can use as an organization or as a leader to make it simple. Sometimes we say that that complexity is the enemy of execution. So I want to make it very simple, the lens, and the next time we're diving into each of the 3 areas here on the happiness sweet spot. And the challenge for next session will be, or the homework, or you can call it whatever you want, is we'll decide on your project. I planted a little seed here, but start thinking about what is your project? What would be nice for me to work on? Where is the energy? I would say go for the energy. If there's something you feel, I would like to look more into this, or go for that. And then next time you'll be invited maybe to share a little bit around your thoughts and maybe be challenged a bit about that in the breakout room, and then absorb some of the readings. If you haven't done the readings for this time, try to read it for the next time. And then there'll be a chapter on the happiness sweet spot, the chapter from the book. And there's a couple of videos there also to watch. It shouldn't take you more than, I would say, you can do it in an hour. If you spend a couple of hours, you're well prepared. That's kind of how we set it up. We know you're all busy. And if there are some non-mandatory readings and videos also. So if you want to dive more into it, if you get really passionate about it, or if you have more time, you can dive into that, or just reach out if you even need more. So I think that the slide deck that you will receive or that you will see tomorrow, I'll link to it and I'll send out a mail tomorrow from Copenhagen here, will be a little more extensive. There will be more slides than I just showed you, but I wanted to be very respectful and mindful of your time also, so we end on time. But at this point, is there a question or comment or concerns for next time? Something I should consider, or Liliana?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, just to tell you the others that Esme just wrote to me, yes, I have 3 emails, but in junk. So she sent them and they went to the junk file.
Okay.
So,
I was going to say the same thing. I found them in my spam and added Esme to my contact, so they should come in from now on.
Yeah, good. Okay, so if anyone's not feeling informed about readings and then they're turning up or invites, look at the spam folder. And because Esme will be following up, and also usually what she does is to send out the link of 1 hour before the session. So she'll be doing that next Tuesday also. So comments, questions, concerns, anything at this point?
No, I just to be sure, I guess I don't have all the information. So you will send tomorrow an email, right? With with a link and that.
I'll be sure that you have it at least, and I'm sure Esme will follow up also with because apparently there is her emails are getting caught in the spam folder apparently. So for sure, and if you feel that you're missing something, just reach out to Esme or to me, and we'll make sure that you're in good hands for sure. So thank you for spending 90 minutes with me today. I was a little excited before I logged in and say, who are all these interesting people and from 4 continents and 7 countries? And so it's nice to put a face on your profiles also. So I'm looking forward to see you again next Tuesday, and let's be in touch in between if you need that. I'm very happy to help.
I have a question. In terms of being in touch, did we, because I missed the beginning, do we have something kind of like an instant messaging, or, to keep us like in touch? Do we have like a group where we can just like, get connected?
I think it's a good idea. If someone wants to take the take that action and look at the Moodle or the course website and connect everyone, or maybe just to reply also one of the emails that I sent out, and we can make a WhatsApp group or something. I think it's a very good idea. So will you do that, Nina?
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, and if you have any problems, reach out to Esme, and she would be very happy to help also
Okay, sure.
with the data and details. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your day, and see you next Tuesday.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See you.